Ukraine peace talks collapse in 2 hours. Zelensky says it's unfair Trump wants him to compromise. February 19, 2026. U.S.-mediated peace talks on Ukraine collapsed in less than 2 hours after Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky claimed it was unfair that Donald Trump was placing more pressure on his country than on Russia. The second day of talks concluded on Wednesday, though neither side signaled they were any closer to ending Europe's deadliest conflict since World War II. The talks wrapped up after just 2 hours, much shorter than the 6 hours of meetings on Tuesday, according to the head of Russia's delegation. Neither side elaborated on what they discussed or whether they had agreed on anything, but both signaled the discussions had been tricky. Trump put pressure on Ukraine on Monday to make a deal, saying they better come to the table, fast. But Zelensky told Axios on Tuesday it was not fair that Ukraine and not Russia was facing more pressure, adding that lasting peace would not be achieved if victory was just handed to Moscow. "I hope it is just his tactics and not the decision," Zelensky said. The Ukrainian leader said late Tuesday he was ready to move quickly towards a deal but questioned whether Russia was serious about peace. The U.S. has been pushing for an end to the nearly 4-year war, but has so far failed to broker a compromise between Moscow and Kiev on the key issue of territory. The latest talks on Wednesday were difficult, but businesslike, the head of Russia's delegation Vladimir Medinsky told Russian state media after the talks. While the talks were still ongoing, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Russia on Wednesday of seeking to drag out negotiations and said the first day had been difficult. Russia is pushing for full control of Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region as part of any deal, and has threatened to take it by force if Kiev does not cave at the negotiating table. But Ukraine has rejected this demand, which is politically and militarily fraught, and signaled it will not sign a deal without security guarantees that deter Russia from invading again. Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. The ensuing conflict has resulted in a tidal wave of destruction that has left entire cities in ruins, tens of thousands of soldiers and civilians dead, and forced millions of people to flee their homes. Hours before talks began, Russia fired 126 attack drones and a ballistic missile at Ukraine, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. Russian drone and artillery attacks overnight and late Tuesday wounded at least one person and caused damage to buildings, according to Ukrainian regional authorities. Russia occupies around 1/5 of Ukraine, including the Crimean Peninsula it seized in 2014, and areas that Moscow-backed separatists had taken prior to the 2022 invasion. Ukraine says handing Russia more territory will effectively reward Russia for invading and embolden it to attack again. Russia has been slowly seizing territory across the sprawling front line for months, claiming control of villages in the southern Zaporizhia region and northern Sumy region on Wednesday. But its wartime economic worries are mounting, with growth stagnating and a ballooning budget deficit as sanction-hit oil revenues drop to a 5-year low. By Daily Mail, story by Eliana Silver, February 19, 2026.